I'm just going to take a moment to explain something. I wanted to make this series as an advocate, first and foremost, to give victims a true voice and help create a community of survivors to know that they're not alone in what has happened to them, but also in how they feel. I also, as a broadcast journalist, wanted to properly dissect what domestic abuse really is, because I had this niggling bugbear that as a whole, we don't get it. And because we don't get it, we can't ever change it. I felt that change could only happen if we really understand cause and effect. And the only way we can actually get it is by hearing from the people who know it better than anyone else. But I also had one more role in all this, and I think it's about time I share it with you. Here's the one who has made me hate. Him is the one who had reduced me to tears. Him is the one who has called me thingy for too many years. Him is the one who said I wouldn't amount to much and said I could never be. This is an essay I wrote for my GCSE English. I was 16 years old. I found it in a box at the back of the garage in my mum's old house. I totally forgot about it until my brother shouted, "This box looks like it's got your things in it," when we were clearing my mum's stuff out of the house. I was adamant I hadn't got anything there. My brother was right though, it was mine. It was covered in cobwebs and half of its contents had been eaten by mice, including a signed Muhammad Ali glove that I was pretty annoyed about because it was totally ruined. But this essay was the only thing that was in a plastic folder and was mostly untouched. My mum lives blind to reality. She has cocooned herself in a pretend world. She doesn't have much freedom as he controls most of her decisions. Fear has eaten her up inside, as we all know his temper is hot on the surface, and when the temperature rises, he has no self-control over his aggression, which means we see his fists more often than not. I had typed it on the school computer across 2 A4 pages and called it Notes on Life. I remember the time when I looked into those psychotic eyes as he charged down the corridor, clearly coming for me. His teeth were gritted so hard. His head was pulsating and could have exploded there and then. His intimidating size made me shrink down into a corner. My whole body began to shake violently, and my stomach hurt so much. None of the teachers questioned what it meant or why I'd written it, although I did get an A* for it. Looking back now, I can't believe nobody queried what I had written. I used to write a lot when I was younger, normally just how I was feeling. It seemed to help. In the plastic folder with the essay was also some scrap pieces of paper that looked like they'd been ripped out of a lined school exercise book. They were written in pencil. In parts the pencil was very faint and worn over time, but I could make out the majority. I feel like breaking down and crying. Nobody that I'm living with at the moment is talking to me except my brothers, who are being extra nice for some reason. I feel like a lodger in my own home. I have never felt so unwanted as I do now. I have been training and had a good session, thank God. Oh, it's so upsetting. I don't know why nobody helped me. And why nobody helped this girl. If I'd have been helped then, I think my life would have been very different. And I'm not unhappy with my life, as you know, I'm sat here today, I'm alive, and I have great friends and a great career, but it's come with a lot of suffering. And a lot of suffering in my mind and a lot of effects of depression and unhappiness and constantly pushing myself because I never thought I was good enough. And also problems getting close to people, especially in an intimate relationship. I actually found it quite upsetting and shocking to read now, as you can tell. I tried for a long time to push that part of my life away. It reminded me how I used to feel.